You're listening to One of a Kind Milwaukee. I'm Angela, your host. Hello. On today's episode, we're going to talk all things Wisconsin State Fair. I've got my little bucket hat on. Actually, it's not my bucket hat. Technically, my mother won it, but I asked her if I could borrow it to record the episode. So we went to the fair. Went to the fair a little bit later in the season, like midway through the fair, but there's still plenty of time for you to go to the fair and experience it. You've got today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you haven't checked it out yet, here's my recommendations on food, drinks, and some activities to do at the fair. So let's get into it. This episode's going to be a little bit different. It has a combination of a few interviews with a few of the wonderful vendors at the fair that were able to fit me in. And then if you're watching it on the video side, I highly recommend actually the video side for this one, especially if that's not your normal take, simply because I've got some great photos, some fun little videos all built in, and I'm just going to voice over on them for this one, just so you can really see the true experience in the flesh. So like I said, there's going to be a total of 3 interviews taking place. That's going to be from Fluffy's, Lumpia Granola, and Sazz's. We were going to interview with Lefts, but time didn't work out. So I'm going to make sure to give them a little extra love in this episode for still putting aside the time to connect with us. So let's see what took place.
Tell me about the item that you guys submitted here for the Sporkies and a little bit more about it.
So for the Sporkies, we have the hot honey jalapeno popper donut this year. So 2 years ago, we had the pickle donut, and then last year we did a strawberry lemonade donut as our new item. So I try to go back and forth between like savory and sweet and some new exciting flavors. So we decided to go the spicy savory route this year.
Great. And then what inspired like the flavor combination for this?
So because of the pickle, we were really successful with it, and I wanted to have something similar, but the one complaint I would get is there wasn't a sweet element to it very much. So I thought the hot honey was a really nice way to bring that nice combination of sweet, salty, savory, kind of hit everything with one donut.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what's your favorite part of being here at the Wisconsin State Fair?
I love the people here at the Wisconsin State Fair. Everyone's super friendly, really nice to deal with. We deal with thousands of customers a day, and it's really enjoyable to stand up here for 12 hours a day and do it.
Outside of the booth, what's something that you have to either do or eat while you're here?
I love going to a baseball game while I'm in town. It's the perfect time of year, so getting to go to one game is nice before, and then I like to go downtown to Milwaukee and get a nice Bloody Mary once too.
Nice, perfect. All right, let's get a closer look at this here.
As we zoom in on that donut, Whitney just smothers it in the perfect amount of hot honey drizzle, and that truly is going to be this donut's perfect touch. So if you haven't checked out Fluffy's, make sure to check them out at the Wisconsin State Fair. They are located near the exposition center of the fairgrounds, and they are on the, let's do our cardinal directions. They're on the east side of the park over there. So they have a bunch of other really great donuts as well. But I have to say, I was a little nervous trying this donut since I'm not a super spice girly. But it's a perfect blend that makes it just have a nice little heat. And if you're kind of like, I don't know about those flavors on a donut, seriously, the donut itself is really the true base of this. The flavors come in with that cream cheese, jalapeno, bacon bits, and then the final piece de resistance, if you will, of that hot honey. So make sure to check them out. Next, we're going to swing over to the Wisconsin's Products Pavilion and meet with Dana.
Here we are at Lumpia Granola. Tell me about the item that you guys submitted for the Sporkies this year and what inspired it.
So we submitted the double drizzle granola bomb.
Okay.
So it is pieces of our honey almond granola, a Holland cream, which is kind of like it's dairy free. It's like a light, kind of like a frosting donut filling.
Okay.
It's really nice and light and refreshing. Have that in the middle, and then we have caramel sauce, chocolate sauce, candied pecans from Fortune Favors, which is based out of Madison.
Okay.
And a cherry on top.
Wonderful. Love that.
So when we submitted a Sporky last year, that was our first experience, and it went really, really well. We had a really good time, but we
Yeah.
immediately started thinking about what to do this year, like while we were at the fair last year. Because we are very focused on being allergen friendly.
Yes.
So we wanted to kind of stay within those bounds, right?
Okay.
So, and we don't have a fully functioning kitchen back here, so
Right.
we're kind of trying to think of how to find those things that are easily reproducible
Right.
for a lot of people and fit our brand, but are still tasty. And that is kind of how we came up with that. We were trying to think of, we didn't want to do ice cream because there's tons of ice
Right,
cream in this
right.
building. We didn't want something that would melt while you're going through the fair.
Yep.
And we wanted to have something that we could kind of turn out enough of.
Right.
So that's how we came up with that.
Okay.
And we really played around with, the flavors and trying to incorporate other like local products. That's kind of how we came up with the Fortune Favors
Okay.
pecans,
Yeah.
which are excellent.
Yeah. Well, and
That's
it's such a nice fit being in the Wisconsin Stock Building
Exactly.
too. That nice tie-in.
Exactly. We really try to make sure we factor in something else local besides that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that so much. So with this item here, you mentioned the allergies. I'm gonna throw that off there. So what allergies are you guys conscious of with your?
So all of our bars are gluten-free, dairy-free, oil-free, soy-free, and peanut-free.
Okay.
So we try to, as much as possible, stay within those bounds. You know, we also sell yogurt parfaits. Okay, those aren't dairy-free.
Yep.
We're not going to be able to accommodate everything all the time,
Right.
but we wanted to make sure we were providing people with a good kind of healthier and allergen-friendly
Yeah,
option
yeah.
for the fair.
Yeah. So a good stop to come with your allergies.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So what's your favorite part about being a vendor here at the fair?
You get to see more people at one time probably than I ever at any other point in the year see, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no I can't think of, there's no other event that we do, there's nothing else that we do where we come into contact with so many different people, so many different walks of life, and it's really good to get that experience, get to see people out here,
Yeah.
and they're from all over, there are people, we talked to a couple of people that were, they were from Wisconsin originally, but they lived in Vegas and California. People come from all over to come to this, and it's just a really good experience to see all these different kinds of people, and really we hear a lot from them, and to get our name out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So outside of the booth, what is something that you have to either see, do, eat when you're here at the fair?
So we did try the Lumpias,
Okay.
which won the Sporkies this year. They're friends of ours, so we got some of those. Those were excellent. I really like to stay in the booth or in the building.
Yeah.
Maybe not the building, or maybe not just the booth. So you always got to get your grilled cheese, right?
Yes.
This year is the first year for the Sheboygan pasties.
Oh, okay.
And I cannot recommend those enough. They are delicious.
All right.
And then I always got to get a corn dog.
Yeah.
At least once.
It is
the
a
thing.
must-have. Yes, I
for
agree.
sure.
I agree.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
All right, so it's 9:45 p.m. There's 15 minutes left. Where are you going besides your own booth? Like, what's that last-minute grab?
Wineberry.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes. They have sangria slushies.
yes.
They are amazing.
Yes.
Do not drink them too fast. It will be painful. But also, if you do, it will be worth it.
Yeah.
They are great.
That is a good one.
I love the slushies.
Yes. That's where I usually go during my break. Not to have a slushie during a break while working, but it's just also just a really nice, vibe over there,
Yes,
too.
it's very chill. There's always a nice little breeze, and they do have little snacks.
Yes.
Like a cheese and nut.
Yeah, like a little grazing.
Yes.
Yeah, thing.
Yes. I do really like it over there. I am biased. One of my cousins does work there.
Okay.
So I do like to go there
Yeah.
and just take a little break. She comes here, takes a little break. Yeah, that's my go-to.
Yeah, perfect.
For
Well,
sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Their stand offers a bunch of items, including their granola bars. They have a popsicle in collaboration with Chilwaukee and their Sporky from last year. I feel like this year's Sporky really took off from their one that they did last year and just heightened it to the extreme, if you will. I think it's really great. It's a great sweet treat, and love the fact that it feels like you have an ice cream, but it's not ice cream, so it's not going to melt on you. You can walk around with it for a bit, and it's just a super great sweet treat. Speaking of sweet treats, next we're going to listen in to Hannah from Sazz's.
We are here at Sazz's. Can you tell me about the Sporky and Drinkies that you guys submitted this year?
Yeah, so the Sporky we submitted this year are the s'mores churro fries. So it came about with two of our supervisors, which usually is our way of coming up with Sporky. This through our supervisors. They come up with really great ideas. But two of them are twins, and they usually would share a churro here at the fair. Could never really decide on what those toppings should be on their churro. One likes plain, one likes a lot of the hodgepodge toppings you can put on it, or the fillings.
Okay.
So they kind of one night were driving home from the fair and came up with ideas of different toppings we could use, and we played around with that, and everyone really loved the s'mores churro fry with it. So it's marshmallow cream, chocolate drizzle, and then graham cracker crumble up top. So it's kind of that perfect summer bonfire kid energy type dessert that we have going.
Yeah, and super easy to walk around with and share.
Totally.
It's nice.
Very shareable. It's probably our most shareable item that we have as far as Sporkies go. And so it's been a great piece for us.
Great. Can you tell us about the drink we got here?
Yeah, so our Drinky actually was submitted in 2023. But we came up with it. Kind of, it's an Instagrammable photo that you can have. Kids love it. Who doesn't want lemonade plus a big chunk of cotton candy on it? So for the last few years, it's been being asked to be brought back year after year. So we've actually never found something to top our Drinky. So we bring back the lemonade every year.
That's great. With being a vendor here at the fair, what's your favorite part of just being here as a vendor?
Yeah, I think the people, it's probably the most family-friendly event that we do. It's the most steady one that we do. I would say a lot of people take off throughout the week, where some of your other festivals, they're all working and things like that, but people really take off and make it a family event, and they come year after year. We have a lot of people that return year after year and tell us how they've been coming here for 30 years to visit our stands and things like that. So I think just the people and it being a family-friendly vibe for us. Yeah.
So when you're not in a booth, what's something that you have to do, see, eat at the fair?
The giant slide is a must for us. A lot of us will get a pass, go up there, and as a group ride right down it, especially the last night is something that we like to do for fun as a blast for all.
Yeah, that's a nice little tradition
Yeah.
too. It's 9:45 p.m., 15 minutes left of the fair. Besides your own stand, what are you grabbing last minute?
One of us is running to the grilled cheese stand and getting that 2 for $5 deal or whatever.
3 for 10.
3 for 10 deal,
Yes.
even better.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then you guys can enjoy these.
Yes, thank you.
So I attended the fair with my mother, and she really liked this drink to where, thankfully, I took a few photos before we walked away, but she had just downed it pretty good already before I could take some additional ones. So she was a sure fan of this one. It's a lemonade taste with a nice, perfect amount of a hint, I'd say, of that cotton candy and that blue raspberry cotton candy, right? So very refreshing. As she said, super cute for the Instagram. And those churro fries were really great too. I love that they're super shareable, because I think not everything at the fair necessarily is the easiest to share. And while they're a messier, if you will, treat, they're not overly messy, because they also stay nicely contained in their little carrier, if you will. So you could walk around with them for a bit at the fair, share them easily with 2, 3, even 4 people, because, there's so many things for us to eat at the fair that the more you can share, the more you can try, right? So highly recommend checking it out. We actually went to the Sazz's Pavilion location to try them. And then there's also the Sazz's that's right across from the Racing Pigs, which is usually where we tend to go for stuff. But there's a nice amount of seating over there, so make sure to check out that Pavilion space. Next, we went to Lefts. And Lefts is a space where we actually tend to sit quite often because it's located right outside that Wisconsin Product Pavilion. So it's a nice spot to sit when you're on a break if you're working there. Now, let me tell you, this strawberry cheesecake drink, my favorite drink of the day. Favorite one, and we tried a lot of drinks. It was creamy, it was refreshing, which for like a shake-like style drink, you don't necessarily think refreshing, right? But this will make you feel refreshed. Nice and cold and chilly, and it just hit the spot. Like if you are watching the video version of this, like you can see it hit the spot. We also tried the Sporky that they submitted, which was the meatloaf and mash bomb pop. You get 3 with an order, and it comes with a secret sauce, which to me was like a little tangy, a little sweet. Couldn't quite figure it out, but it was good and worked really well with the mashed potato and meatloaf. They expect to sell over 6,000 orders of these during the fair. That's sure a lot of bomb pops. And this is great as an individual or a shared item because you do get 3 of them in there. It was definitely giving very comfort food, and it was easy enough to walk around if you need to, or of course enjoy their wonderful patio space that they have. They also offer live music, the Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill. You can see the schedule in the State Fair booklet, of course online. We also tried many other foods throughout the day. Of course, the number one Sporky. Delicious. Grilled cheese, we had to get it because we couldn't get enough, throughout the fair itself. And for that, they actually had a special flavor of the day. So make sure to check and see, because during the week especially, they'll bring out those specialty flavors. And they had the Dill Havarti, which is my absolute favorite. So I was so excited that that was the flavor of the day. We then made our way over to Sodalish, which if you haven't checked out Sodalish, I really like them. They have a bunch of fun drinks to try. You can also make your own drink, which is super neat. They did have a drinky that they submitted. However, it was a coffee one. And as we know, coffee for me is a give or take. So I went with the tried and true, which I get every year since they've been there, is the Dragonfly lemonade. It's adorable. You get a cute little dragonfly clip. Do I have a collection of them? Maybe I do. Okay. And they have actually 2 spaces throughout the fair that I saw. So just check the map for those, because my location on those is not as good as some other places. So we then went to Flying Solo, and their Sporky was a pork and pine, which was it's like a Johnsonville brat patty with cheese, a teriyaki, grilled pineapple, and then like lettuce, tomato, onion, topped with a pickle like on the top of the bun. That was really good. Like, where's the hype for this sandwich, please? Okay. I really enjoyed it. I feel like a lot of the Sporkies this year were sweet, which is totally fine. But this, like a nice savory one that also like isn't like too crazy, because like I'll try new things, but to a degree, right? Like this was like perfect for me, and I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend. Plus they had some other things on the menu that I thought were interesting, with these like drinks that you can put beer in. I don't know what they are. I just kept staring at them. I should have asked, but of course I didn't. But then they also had like a bucket of pickles, like bread and butter pickles. And then we actually got the cup of grapes. So it's a very, I'd say, good portion of grapes. And then there's cheese cubes on top. So that was a nice, like, if you're looking for something just like healthy, not fried, etc., or maybe with food allergies kind of thing, they were really good, and like nice, big, like refreshing, like crispy grapes. So check them out. My mother then really wanted the rock and roll Purple Rain drink. So we headed over to that space, which I believe is new this year. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I don't always make it all the way through the fair when I'm working the fair. So that space was really cute. Like, it was giving cute vibes. It was on the southwest end of the park where the canine like shows used to be. So, we went to get this drink, And I still didn't know what the flavors were. Just that it was a purple drink with glitter and pop rocks. My mother was so excited, and she doesn't even like glitter. Like, she hates glitter. Like, she is like afraid of glitter. Okay. So we did a cute little video where she, made the drink. And I think what was hilarious, because they actually let you make it yourself. Like, you're given the beverage, they actually have it on tap. And then you're given a little container with the glitter, a little container with the pop rocks. The wind blew. She lost half of her glitter. It went on her, which put her in total freak out mode. And the other half made its way into the beverage. So that was kind of funny. The pop rocks were a nice, like, little ASMR moment. And then she mixed it up with the straw, which I thought was funny, versus the swizzle stick, because you do get a cute little swizzle stick with a little music note with it. And it was a good drink. Now, I think there has been varying opinions on this. I don't know that it's number one for us. So it was good, but we drank half between the two of us, and then actually shared some with some of our coworkers at the cheese stand. So, like I said, that cheesecake, number one, and then the cotton candy, I think, was number two of the day. So, yeah. But try it if you want to try it. Like, do not let everyone's opinions are different, right? And that's part of the reason why they do the People's Choice with the Sporkies and Drinkies. Fun fact, this year, there is a new renovation of the dairy building, which is where the cream puffs are. There's a bunch of other vendors in there as well. And the gold medal brownies are actually a favorite. And this year, it may have been last year too, but for sure this year, they have a trio pack. And you can get it with the traditional chocolate frosting, cream cheese frosting, and strawberry frosting for $15. Otherwise, they're $6 a piece. And if you also get the trio, you get it actually in a very nice little box to carry around in. So highly recommend checking that out, checking the building out, looking at that new educational piece that's in there too, because that is some work of the Dairy Promotion Board. So gotta hype that up for them. Okay, so a few final food items we tried were the Mexican street corn pizza, which was a third place Sporky finalist. It was really good. The line was long, but like not crazy, because they are like ready and know like this is what people want. So don't let a line scare you away from that at all. And speaking of lines, if you want those French toast lumpias, go there first. Like, we are talking 10 a.m. because there was already a line at 10 a.m. So the line I heard was really, really long otherwise. So we made sure to hit that up first for the day. Another beverage that we tried was the tropical refresher from Keys Boba. Now, it's Keys Boba, but on the map, it's going to be at the stand noted as Bubbles Waffles. So if you're trying to find it, it's located on the north Sky Glider area, like in that section of the fair. It's a little bit south of the Sky Glider, but like that's where it is over there if you are familiar. This was really good. It does have caffeine in it, so that should be noted. I was not aware of that, but obviously it's not something that I am concerned about with my caffeine. So, but just note that that is in there. And the boba, of course, was refreshing and it popped well. And even my mom liked it, and she doesn't typically like boba drinks, even the ones with the popping boba. So she thought it was really good too. And it's super cute, colorful, like a really pretty purple. And then the orange of the mango boba gives it a fun effect. So that is all we ate and drank. And that was a lot. We did bring stuff home and shared with, brought it back to the stand, did all that kind of stuff. But so many things to try. Try them if you will. Honestly, nothing was like a loss. So everything was great. Everything, I think we scored 7 and up. I don't think anything scored under a 7. And if you're wondering, like, what are you talking about with scoring? Well, I'm going to share that on social media, like at the formal scores, because I actually created these cute little scoreboards because it's like, sure, I gave it a 7. What does that mean? And so, of course, I tell you what that means because I have a breakdown of that, because that's something I'm always like, how do I score something? Like, is it like, what's a 5 out of 5? What's a 10 out of 10? So the scoreboard will tell you. Now, we also did things other than eat and drink. We experienced some experiences because there's that at the fair too. So brand experiences are something that the fair offers, and I highly recommend checking out online what brand experiences are taking place for the day, because some have different time frames and others don't take place every single day also. So there are specific days, or maybe it's just during the week or just the weekend. So check the website out. We went to the US Cellular Terrace like first thing after we got our Lumpias, because one, they're right near each other, but also we heard that the US Cellular one was a fairly busy place to go. And that's because they're giving away some pretty good stuff. So you could win Sky Glider, Ferris wheel tickets, and they actually give you 2, which is really nice. So you can actually go on it with somebody. They're giving away fare bucks. They're giving away tickets to a Brewers game, all with this like really cool slingshot thing. But before you do that, there's this whole like immersive experience for you to take part in that ultimately is to try to get behind like your digital screen time, like taking time to actually enjoy experiences versus just being behind the screen for it. So that was kind of cool. And we, of course, checked out the Racing Pigs, got to check them out, the schedule online right in front of the pig location and in like the fair booklet. Another brand experience that was super neat and that we paid attention to the time for, so we didn't have to wait too crazy in line, was Potawatomi. They had, for the day we were there, like a money thing where you like, have to grab the money and then like put it in the little slot. And then the money tickets must have had like what you could potentially win, because then they would say what you could choose from. So my mom won the bucket hat and I ended up winning a bandana. That was super cute. So that was another brand experience. Meyer was also there doing a brand experience, and they had some bags that they were giving away with some things. They were giving out fudge popsicles, and they also had this really cool inflatable chair thingamabobber that we, with the encouragement of the girlies working it, made our way up onto it. I ended up winning passes for the Sky Glider when I did the US Cellular experience, and we went on that. My mom was a little scared to start with, but she did real good. She got brave about halfway through. And I don't know, it was kind of neat. We've never actually gone on the Sky Glider at the fair. Maybe when I was a kid, but like not that I remember. My most recent memory of a Sky Glider is at the zoo when I was like nannying in college. So that was interesting. And I think the most interesting part of that experience was when we made it to actually what was the Wisconsin's Products Pavilion. The amount of stuff that people have dropped off this Sky Glider. A whisk? A ladle? Like things you might expect, like a shoe, or like there was a lot of hairbands. There was a couple dollars up there also. So just interesting. Just so interesting. We did check out the Grand Champion building. That is the one with all the gorgeous flower installments outside. So if you haven't checked out that building, I actually went in it the first time last year, and it's super cool. It's just neat to look at all the plants and the like vegetables that have won things, and they were doing some samples of like jams and stuff while we were in there. So just a very different building to go and check out. So make sure to do that if you haven't. It's air conditioned, but like a little bit of a warmer, humid air conditioning, I feel, probably because of the plants. So, but it's still a good escape from the heat. And then almost 12,000 steps later, we made our way into the Fairwear building, which again, haven't done since probably being a kid. And we walked out with a full bag full. We got matching shirts because there are some really, really cute ones. Honestly, could have purchased all of them, but we decided to go with a motorcycle themed one and a party animal one. So they were just both very cute, very similar style in the design, but we did that also. And it was kind of cool. The guy was like, "Oh, are you getting this for the whole family?" And we're like, "Well, no, for us." Not for anybody else. We did get one for my dad, because of the motorcycle. So it was very, very cute. And yeah, that was the fair experience. So highly recommend, like I said, all the food and beverages. Highly recommend the brand experiences. Obviously, we didn't go on like rides and stuff like that, but feel like at this point, that's not the vibe for us, at least. And didn't quite check out the animals this time either. But seriously, everything we did that it was discussed in this episode was a 9 o'clock to 4 p.m. vibe. And at that point, with the 12,000 steps, like we were kapootsed. Made it home, did a quick stop by the Tosa Nights Out programming, maybe 15, 20 minutes at most, and ended up watching some Netflix and going to bed, I think, by 8 p.m. Wouldn't have even made the walk for the nights out. So just got the shirt and checked out some vendors. But that is truly a wrap. And I'm going to say, until next time.